was when I look at the 3-year-old girl that made news all over our nation of South Africa, holding a braid of Albany. And immediately, Queen Tamimase came into my mind that indeed, this 3-year-old, her destiny, it is set free because of the environment that she grew up in. Even the uncle says, I named her Unokukhanya. And I look at our queen, beloved Queen Tamimase, and I'm saying, we come from all backgrounds. And the environment, they say, as a counselor, it shapes the destiny of a child. But me here as Christina, who's standing here as one of the queens, I'm saying today, in this nation, we're going to witness a history being written by a girl, a daughter of the soil, her name being Queen Tamimase, who has come up with a vision that has included whosoever queen that comes from all walks of life, pain, whatever holding patterns and even lies that we believe, because we believe lies sometimes that says, you are not going to do this. But as I'm saying today, when I was challenged by Queen Sandra, when she said to me, I was told by another Queen, Bongiwe, that she is entering the Olympics, I realized that the race is now moving fast. So welcome once again, our dynamic, brilliant wisdom from above. We are truly blessed by God to have a queen who is sharing and saying, I'm not going to be a hoarder of this vision, but I am distributing, and I want to go up with as many queens as possible as I rise up, as my destiny is set up and being propelled forward. I'm taking many with me. Welcome to the stage, beloved Queen Mase. We are blessed to have you. Thank you. Over to you, my queen.
Thank you so much, Queen Chrissy. And may I welcome everyone who is here tonight. You could have been somewhere else doing something, but you decided to put this time aside just to be here, and we can sit around this table and talk as queens. Welcome to the dinner table, and let us gather together and really build this continent. And I'm really excited to be here tonight with you all. Wow. Every week has its own unique, exciting, thing that we always look forward to. One queen said that Wednesdays aren't the same anymore. When it's Wednesday, you can feel your adrenaline moving. That, you're going to gather together among these other queens and start building. When someone comes to you and tells you that you can build a car, like a literal car that runs, you would never even believe yourself you could, because we have never raised our bars that high where we believe we can do anything. And right now, we are a living testimony that nothing is impossible. We are here tonight sharing possibilities of things that we never imagined possible before. And that is why it is easy for some of us, when we come across these kind of opportunities, to say they're too good to be true. Of course, it's going to be too good to be true if you didn't put your mind into achieving and the ability of doing it. And I always believe that if an idea has been landed on your lap or in your head or in your mind, it means that it can be done and it has to be done. And we are here tonight because we want to prove those odds wrong where they say nothing is possible. And also, they normally say when queens gather together or when women gather together, nothing really moves forward. And we are here as a living example that says, as queens, we can unite, we can hold one another's hands, and we can really move this earth. We are not here to fight back what was stolen. We are here to build back what was taken. There's always a norm, you know, when people aren't happy about anything, the first thing that they do, they fight. We're so used to fighting that we cannot solve anything amicably. And right now we are here as queens and says there's no need for that. The only thing that is needed is to gather ourselves together and work. I'm excited tonight as I will be sharing some of the achievements that have been done so far. And the steeper or the higher you go on top of the mountain, the more tired you're going to get. You know, we've had so many heroes of ours climbing up the Mount Kilimanjaro. You know, it's not easy. As my fellow queen here, Queen Chrissy, has just mentioned, that we need to beat the odds, right? We have this beautiful girl here who is now going into the Olympics. You know, she may be challenged, but she is not taking that as an impediment for her to achieve whatever it is that she needs to achieve. You know, we are here today as an example, you know, of that, where we want to show the world that anything is possible and anything and everything. We have been talking, you know, for the entire past 6 sessions about the energy economy, about how we can get involved and how we can be part of this beautiful opportunity. And today we are going to talk more about the platform that will enable us to really be where we want to be. We say we are building this economy, but we need to have all the resources for us to be able to do that. And today we are going to just do a little bit of a recap in terms of what we have covered, and we can move forward. We have come across this name that we see on the screen right now so many times, but we're still confused as to what is it for? Why is it here? Why is this network here? What are we supposed to do with it? I know that most of the queens have been struggling getting in there and have been struggling registering and putting in their people. So we're going to be covering all of that tonight, because this is the most important or critical part of our growth. You know, our growth and our economy starts right here, you know, in this energy network. Sorry, Queens, I just need to mute these people that are not aware they are.
Oh, so one.
Okay. All right, so this is the energy network that is going to take us from where we are to where we want to be. And we really need to make sure that we know it very well. And what is it bringing us? It is bringing us the digital energy economy. It's bringing us opportunities beyond the renewable energy. If you remember last time when we covered this part, we talked about knowledge that we need to have. And this is exactly why we are having these masterclasses. These are a few takeaways that we need to take home with every single time we get out of these masterclasses. We need to understand the energy economy. We need to understand the opportunities that are available. And we need to understand what kind of platforms are there that are available for us to take advantage of. And that is what we have covered. And these are all the opportunities that have been presented to you, developed by queens for queens, because this is our time for us to really start building this economy. And I made an example of an airplane cleaner who got into this airplane, and instead of doing what he is supposed to do. He wanted to fly this airplane. Yes, there was a handbook that was giving him instructions, but now he did not read the entire handbook first before he started flying the airplane. And the result was that while he was up in the air, he wanted the next instruction on what he needed to do to be able to land. But now that instruction he could only get in the next volume, which he did not have. So that's the danger of studying something without having full knowledge of it first. And that is not only dangerous, but it is destructive. And that is why we are having these master classes, because we don't want to fly this plane. And when we want to land, we cannot land. And those who have been with us, through all our master classes will really understand why we have been having these master classes. And now what we want to understand is that we don't just want to have this knowledge, because what are you going to do with knowledge after having all the information that you need? You need to use it, you need action. And right now, we are not just talking about knowledge or information, but we are talking about the action that we need to take. And we have been quite involved in this energy economic masterclass. And I'm sure most of us understand by now why we are having it. It has been crafted to empower women with this knowledge that we need, so that we can build this economy, we can build our entire, not just energy economy, but our entire economy using the resources that we have. And we have partners. And this is what has confused some of our queens here today, because they feel that there's just too much information that is there on the table, and they don't even know which one fits where. Just a second, queens, I just want to fix something here. The noise from the background. Mute all. Okay, thank you. All right, so we have partners, and we probably don't understand how these partners fit into this whole equation or into this whole picture. And today, I just want to dissect a little bit about who these partners are, what their involvement, what their role is in what we're doing. We have WIP Invest, which is Women in Power Invest, and it is WIP Invest that has initiated this 12-week energy masterclass. And it's a company that is empowering women and is issuing these shares to these top 500 participating queens. Just a second, please. Okay, I do apologize, Queen, for that. Yeah, so we have WIP Invest that has initiated these 12-week masterclasses, and it is the WIP Invest that has partnered with all these other stakeholders so that we have this available for you, the entire package. And when you upgrade on Bioscope, you actually investing in WIP Invest, which is there to empower you. And we must also remember that in the previous masterclasses, we did mention that WIP Invest has partnered with Mandroli, and they have 20% shareholding in Mandroli. So whatever is happening in the Mandroli space, you as the queen who has upgraded will be part of everything that is happening there. And this includes the Rolet, this includes the Bioscope, This includes the rolling meat platforms. All these platforms are at your disposal for dividends if you upgrade. And now that's why we're saying we don't just want you to have the information, to have the knowledge, but we also want you to action what you have learned from these master classes, so that you don't just sit with the information and you don't know what to do with it. But after the end of these master classes, you just move straight ahead in terms of using the information. But what's beautiful is you're not just using the information, but you've got a whole army of queens right here with you who you will be working with in this journey. So now we have platforms that we can use that are accessible through Rolling Meet, where we can hold meetings like the ones we are holding here on Zoom. We have platforms that we can use where we can collaborate, like as we collaborate on Facebook. We have Bioscope that we use, like we are using your YouTube. We have all these platforms that WIP Invest is partly owning. So now whatever is partly owned by WIP Invest is yours, as queens. So I hope we understand the correlation and the relationship between these companies. And the last one that we have is WIPFIN, which is the subsidiary of WIP Invest, which is the one that is managing the energy fund, the Triby Energy Fund. We also have River. River is the energy company that does the installation, the solar installations. So now whichever projects that we have, all these solar farms that we're talking about will be commissioned by River. And I hope now we understand when we say you upgrade and you get a shareholding, you are getting a shareholding from all these partners. And there is nothing as beautiful as having the information, the knowledge, because with that information, you are able to make decisive decisions. Just this morning, I received I received a WhatsApp message from this queen, and she was saying to me, Queen, I'm giving up. I really would like to leave the platform, as much as I would like to be here, but I can't, because now I cannot invite these 5 queens. And now I was told that if I can't invite the 5 queens, I am only going to be a shareholder. And can we see now, I see this as lack of informed information or knowledge, because if you're a shareholder, you still hold a big chunk of opportunity from what we're doing, because all these projects that we're talking about, they will form part of your dividends. And now if you are saying that you cannot upgrade because you don't want to be a shareholder, to me it's saying you don't want opportunities, you don't want to be empowered, and you don't want to be part of the solution. And not because you don't want to, but because you don't really know much about what the shareholding is. And I'm going to unpack to you right now in terms of when you are that shareholder, what are you going to be expecting? Because it is very imperative, or it is very important, that we understand why we are here, and we understand what is the benefit, that we will be getting by attending these masterclasses and by being here. So if you are just upgrading and not inviting queens, you're not losing out. And now, we discussed these in our previous masterclass, the categories of these shareholders. The first one, if you want to participate in these opportunities, you can either be part of the category A, which is the shareholder, where you are investing a minimum of 1,500 and a maximum of 15. We also did explain that organizations are welcome here, but if you're an organization and you want to invest, then the minimum will be 15,000 Rand as an organization. The advantages of this is you don't have to build any network, you don't have to invite any queens, you just invest and sit back and wait for your dividends at the end of the financial term. But the disadvantage is that you have no other benefits except just that. And that's what we need to understand. We have category B, which is the builder. So if you're in category A, you are the shareholder. If you're in category B, you are the builder. And if you're the builder, you are saying that I am going to upgrade because I want to keep our platforms running and active. So I will upgrade to that. And I am willing to accept my benefit, which is that of now a share in the business. And I'm willing to build a team. When you build a team, you have a choice of building a team with 2 generations, with 3 or 6 generations of 5 queens each. That is a choice. You don't have to do that. And the advantages of that is you benefit from everything. You benefit from the projects, you benefit from the awards that we are having at the end of August, you benefit from the investment that is in the Triba Energy platform, and you benefit in more shares than the ones that you have actually upgraded for. And that is the beauty of it. So category B is actually the winner that takes it all. You're taking it all. And this one is for those who are saying we want to build this network, and we want to see the economy growing. We want to see Africa rising. We want to empower other queens so that they are also part of these opportunities. And the only disadvantage with this, there is no disadvantage at all, except that you just need to build. You build the network to qualify for the ranks, and it's a disadvantage to others who are not comfortable in really doing this. And let me just reiterate this part. If you're using a product and you love it, you can't keep quiet about it. You want to tell the next person about this beautiful product that you're using, whether it's your friend or your family or your colleague at work, and you do that without any expectations of the retailer or the owner of the product paying you for it or compensating you for it. And you're doing that for free. You are using an insurance product that you love, and you easily talk about that, to your friends and family. We do this every single day, and we do this unaware that we are doing it. But now, when we have to build these teams and these networks for the benefit of the entire humanity, it's difficult for us to do it. Why? Because we haven't given ourselves time to actually feel not only the opportunities, but to feel the impact even before it happens. We are not able to take ourselves into the future and see what is it that is going to be achieved by what we are doing today. This is very exciting, what we're doing here. We are building, and we are building something that has never really been done. In a way, it has never been done before. You actually see from the projects that we have that in the space we are in as women, no other women have gone into the space that we are. That on its own should be able to be a propeller in terms of really moving us forward to start building and go and tell others about this huge, big opportunity that we have. We don't really realize what we have. And some people say you don't realize what you have until it's gone. And now, if we leave this ship right now and see it flying, and it's already too late, we don't want to be regretting. So let's try and get ourselves to understand the actual opportunity that we have on the table. And once we see it as bigger than us or bigger than life itself, then that's when we realize that we have something right here. And we have the last category, which is category C, the harvester. The harvester is that one who says, I don't have the money, I will go and earn my money from the platforms, and I will wait however long it takes, to be able to build this network. So you harvest, if it takes you 10 months, it'll take you 10 months, but after that, you are able to upgrade on Bioscope and you are able to build your team, with the generations. The advantage of that is that you benefit from everything without really paying a cent or anything towards what you will be benefiting from. But the disadvantage is that, yes, you're going to build your own network to qualify, but it'll take time for you to reach that. And by the time you reach it, maybe the opportunities might not even be there, because these opportunities have limited time frame. Once they are launched and commissioned, which means you have missed out on that particular opportunity. So here, we don't only need to look at what we are going to benefit now, but we need to look at what's at stake. What is it that I'm losing if I am not taking this opportunity today? And nobody has money, Queens. We need to understand that nobody has money, but you sacrifice something to get something. So if you want something real hard, there is something you are going to sacrifice to get this, because you know that this here, you're building a legacy. It is not something that you're going to do today and gone tomorrow. And now we need to understand what these opportunities are. We need to understand the revenue that they carry and what are we going to be benefiting from this shareholding. Sometimes it's something different talking about an opportunity, and it is something totally different talking about an opportunity which is foreign to our ears, and an opportunity that when it lands in our ears, we think, no, man, this is too good to be true. It's impossible. There is no way we are able to do this and achieve this as Black women. We can't. And once we put those words in front of us, you won't be able to move. Remove those obstacles. We need to stop sabotaging ourselves or doing what is called self-sabotage, because now we are sabotaging ourselves when we decide that we cannot do something, or we cannot be part of something good, or we don't deserve to be part of anything good. Once we remove that, then we are able to think and see clearer in front of us, and we are able to give our all to make sure that we really have and be part of this. What are opportunities that we have? It's the opportunities that we have already covered. One of them is the solar powered data center. I cannot emphasize this enough, Queens. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. And this is going to be the first project in this continent that is ever commissioned, not only by us as women, but it has never been done before, the solar powered data center. If it has been, it's only maybe in very small fractions where people are doing pilot projects, but this is not a pilot project. This is a fully fledged project that is ready to run. And Queens, I want to tell you something. This is not just a 2.4 billion worth of a project, but the revenue that it carries every single month. This kind of a project has the ability to generate at least 100 million rands every month. When I'm saying every month, I'm not talking about limited years where we are only going to have this for 10 or 20 years and then it's gone after. I am talking about a lifetime opportunity. Imagine 100 million rands every month. That's 1.2 billion a year, 1 year. And you tell me you don't want to be part of that? To me, it says maybe you haven't really heard clearly what we are bringing on the table. We are sitting on the table now as queens and saying, here is the meal. It is ready for all of us. So I want to emphasize this one more time. Just this one project, and we're talking about more others, but just this one, this is a flagship project that we will be doing as queens. And if you're telling me that you cannot upgrade because you don't want to be a shareholder,
then I'm saying there's something wrong, whether in our mindsets or in believing in ourselves of something that we are capable of doing and we are not capable of doing. And that needs to change, Queens, because these opportunities don't come every now and then. What is beautiful about this opportunity is that it's a very specialized project. We know that there are many people who know about blockchain, but not in the extent that we want to bring it in. And in this data center, it's talking about the digital economy creation. In the entire of our masterclass, we have been emphasizing the building of an energy economy. We are building here an economy. We need to keep that in mind in whatever it is that we're doing. We're not just doing a project for the sake of doing a project here. One, we are pioneering a path for queens in this continent. We are showing the world that the queens are capable of doing anything. And two, we want to show the world that we are in charge of this fifth industrial revolution. We are going to lead in this fifth industrial revolution. And that we are saying it unapologetically, and we have the audacity to say that because we know we can, we have the capability, we have the ability, the capacity, and we have the resources and everything that we need to really get into this one. So we never should be underestimating the power that we have. We have so much power. And if we don't start believing in that, then we are going to be self-sabotaging our own destiny. The destiny of this continent is in our hands, queens. And we need to start believing in these opportunities, and we need to be able to go into them fully well, knowing that it's not going to be easy, because here we are stepping into the spaces that are previously male dominated. And we are stepping into a space where even our leaders in terms of the country leaders might feel threatened, but we need to make sure that they are aware that we are not here to fight. We are not fighting anybody. We are here to build. We know that whatever it is that we had has been taken and looted by the world, but we are not here for that. You know what they say? They say, if you want to introduce anything new, don't fight the old, but make sure that you perfect your new so that it makes the old obsolete. And now when the old becomes obsolete, it will remove itself without any fight. So that's exactly what we're doing right now. So the next time you think of being a shareholder and you think you can't because you don't understand what the value that we have, this is the first one. When you think of upgrading on Bioscope and you just tell yourself that you're just going to be a shareholder and nothing else, that's a huge step, queens. Don't see yourself as a failure because you cannot build the teams. Yes, we want the numbers, we want the teams, but you need to be part of this opportunity. You need to be in so that when the dividends are available, you are part of that. So if we have just one project that's going to be bringing us 100 million rands every month for the rest of our lives, generations after generations, because the digital world is not going anywhere. This is just the beginning. And this data center is going to be our foundation of the economy that we are building today. And we talked about another opportunity that is going to make a huge impact in this continent, not only in the country. We talk about Mandroli. This is a second audacious project that women have ever dared to take part in. This is a male-dominated industry, and no women in the entire world has ever have the confidence to step into it. We are the first. And we need to take that with both hands and run with it. We are the first women group to ever be part of any project like this. And now the road is not so steep anymore because we have the support, not only the local support, but we have international support in this project. And we are now beginning to have local support. We have our local leaders now getting interest in this particular project. So where does that put you as the queen who upgrade or who has invested? It puts you at a space where you can proudly say, I'm part of that. And we are talking about a $9 billion worth of a project, the value that it currently has. Now, that is the money that has been committed to this project alone. And when we are talking about this solar-powered automobile, we are not only talking about that, we are talking about its subsidiaries as well, which is Rollit, Rolliverse, and those are the platforms that we are currently seeing. Now, when it comes to Rolliverse, I want to give you good news, and I think it's really great news. Yesterday, if you've been part of our masterclasses, you will remember when I introduced the partners of Rollit and Rolliverse, and one of them was Professor Hawk Makepula, and the second one was Patco Mafani. I think most of you will know who Patco is. He is one of the very well-known radio broadcasters that this country has ever had respect for. And the third one is Percy Adams. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is exciting is we just had a conversation last night. He landed in the US, and the reason he is in the US, he is meeting Benny McCarthy, and he will be with Benny McCarthy for the entire week this week because his team, Benny's team, is playing in the US for the whole week. Why is this good news for us? You might remember in our past masterclasses, we did mention that Benny McCarthy is also one of the partners to Rolliverse, our metaverse. Now, before the end of this week, they will be sending us a video message saying that they are here, they see what we are doing, and they are proud of what we are doing. And, you know, having that kind of a partner and support, it gives us it gives us comfort, you know, in knowing that we are doing the right thing. Remember, in our previous masterclasses, we did mention that Benny is going to be part of the virtual match with Cristiano Ronaldo in our metaverse. And this is what they will be talking about in the video as well, so that you don't think that we're just talking about these things or we're just dreaming about these things, and that you know that there are real people behind these projects. There are real people who cannot afford to lose their reputation on something that is not legit or something that's not the real deal. So, which means we have these partners because what we have is the real deal. We need to get out of this masterclass knowing that we are part of something great. We are part of something big, something huge, and we are not just part of it, we are the ones driving it. We are the ones in the forefront, we are the ones that are creating the path, that are pioneering this journey. We are the ones that are creating this path right into the 5th industrial revolution. I'm not sure if I did mention part of the Mandroli project is the mushroom concept, which we also have partners with as well. The entire interior of the Mandroli automobile is going to be a mushroom leather. Can you imagine the opportunities that will be created just from the mushroom farming and harvesting and refining, you know, and all of that? For you to have leather clothing or your leather seats in your car, it has taken at least 3 years for that hide to be available. 3 full years. And it's 3 years that involves feeding that cow, that involves taking care of that cow, and that's money. So it takes 3 years to have that leather that you are using. But now we are talking of a technology that is going to use mushrooms to create the very same leather that you have, same texture. It breathes the same as the one that you have. It has the same durability. It smells the same, probably. And it is environmentally friendly. And it only takes 3 months to grow versus the 3 years of the hide. And even the 3 years, it's only one cow. I mean, imagine for the entire interior for your car, how many cows do you need to have that leather? You probably need 3 or 4, right? 4 times 3 years, that's a lot. And here we are talking 3 months of farming and 3 months of harvesting and 3 months of refining and creating the leather fabric. And what's beautiful is that this mushroom leather is so versatile that it can be used. Out of it, you can create a snake skin, you can create a crocodile skin, you can create an elephant skin, you can create any kind of a skin of leather that you want. So who is pioneering that in the entire continent? It is us, nobody else. So you got to really audaciously submit and audaciously accept that you were part of something big and part of something great. And now this is also part of what WIP Invest is going to be benefiting from, which you in turn will benefit from. Remember, we also talked about the solar powered air water, which is the atmospheric water. And there's technologies that is available for this. It's a 1.4 billion worth of a project. But now with the kind of packaging that it has, it will fly on the shelves, because now what it does, this resealable can, it's unlike the ordinary can where you use it. And if the contents are still left in the can, it's either you throw it, it becomes, messy to keep that. But with this technology and this what we have now, we are saying is that you can buy this can, use it and reuse it, because you can reclose, anti-leak, it gives you all of that. And again, who is pioneering this and who is driving this? It is women. So now what I'm saying is, you are not just part of a dream again. You are part of something that's already there. And it just needs you to saying, let's take this up together and start building this continent. And now, again, I want to emphasize the fact that when I say that you need to think twice, when you say, okay, so if I cannot invite these 5 queens, I cannot upgrade because I don't want to be a shareholder. So now, are you telling me that you would rather miss out on all these projects that we have covered now because you don't want to be a shareholder? All these data centers where you will be part of the first women who are actually developing something like this. You will be part of this one, this solar powered automobile, which is going to be the first in the entire world where women are part of it. from the beginning to the end, where you're going to be part of this technology, where you're going to be harvesting atmospheric water using the sun. So you don't need any water source here. You don't need any water source, you just need air, where you are using the solar to harvest this water from air. You're part of all of that. And you're telling me you don't want to be part of this? Now, this is what is going to be achieved by category B. So if you're category B, if you're the builder in category B, we are going to cover this, not today, but what I wanted to give you today is just an idea on what kind of ranks you are looking at, what kind of requirements you are looking at. And for you to be part of the top 500, what is it that you need to do? What is it that you are required to do? So these are the levels. We have here, the first one is going to be now the queen of the tribe. If you're the queen of the tribe, it means you are in the top 20. Remember here, we've got top 50, top 200, and we've got top 300. So in the top 50, we still need to choose this top 20. And now for the requirements of top 50, you need to have 6 generations. And that's 6 generations times 5 queens that you invite. You can invite 1 queen a day. At the end of it, you will have to have at least, in your network, you will have to have 15,600. That's a lot if you look at it like that. But if you look at it at an angle where you just invite, your work is just to invite 1 queen a day, 5 of them, that's it. And the rest of it, it's not in your shoulders. You empower the next queen to do the same. Here it's a power of multiplication. If I have been able to multiply myself in you, then you are also able to multiply yourself in others. And that's all that's needed. So don't look at the total number that you see there. Look at what is it that you personally need to put out. The only work that you put out is just 5 queens, 1 queen a day or 1 queen a week. That's all that's needed. And to qualify for the top 200, you need 4 generations, which is 625 people in your team. To qualify for the top 300, you need 2 generations, which is 25 people in your team. And right now, we do not have any queen that qualify in any of these. That is why we're saying we need to start that campaign. And the campaign is going to concentrate on those who have already started. Now, this is what I'm going to kindly ask each queen here. I know that queens have been struggling with Triber. They've been very frustrated with the system. And I want to apologize for that because we currently migrated servers. We migrated the server into a new server. And in the middle of that migration, we lost 2 weeks of data, which the developers are restoring right now. So if you went into Triber and tried to log in, if you registered in the past 2 weeks, you will find that it does not recognize, or it says it does not have your details in the system. And it might be true. So if you find yourself in that situation, you can register again, or you can wait until we restore everything, which should be done by the end of this week. And I do sincerely apologize for that inconvenience, but I also want to assure you that you have not lost anything. Whatever was before the migration, it's still there. It's just a matter of time where we have everything restored back again. So please do not panic. We know the situation, we are aware of it, and the developers are on top of it. And I know that I've had several queens calling me, leaving me messages. I am sorry that I have not responded. You know, I have been swarmed with a lot of work, and I am going to go back to you maybe over the weekend, but I am seeing your messages and I am going to acknowledge and respond back to you. I do acknowledge your issues, and that is why we have the provincial groups, so that if you have any issue that needs urgent attention, please take it to your leaders in your groups and they will be able to sort it out for you. Don't wait, don't come into my inbox and wait for me, because I may not even see your message, or I may not even see your missed call. I might miss it somehow, and you might be sitting there waiting for me to respond, and yet I haven't even seen, you know, that yet. From next week, Queens, this is what we will be concentrating in. We will be concentrating on all the queens that have upgraded. And we want to make sure that at least by the end of next week, we have a few of them qualifying, at least for this one, for this rank here, which is the top 300. And you can see there at the bottom, we have given them names. Like here, we're saying this is an ambassador. You know, an ambassador is someone who is using a product first before you go and tell other people. You tell people about a product that you have seen, that you have convinced yourself about it. You've done your own due diligence and you know it exists, it works, and it's legit. And then you can go and tell other queens about it. So there, you use it, you go and tell, you know, your first group of queens, and then they tell theirs. Now we call you an ambassador. So for you to qualify to be an ambassador, which means in the top 300, you need to build at least 2 generations. So you build your own of 5, and those 5 build 5 generations, 5 queens in their generations each. And then you will have to be promoted to this rank, you know, and we are hoping and praying that by the time we reach the 16th of August, we at least have people who are sitting here in the top 200. Even though we really wish we have some that are here, because that is the major reason why we are having this event, is we want to celebrate the top leaders of women in the energy space. We want to show the world that we can do it, and we will do it. So together we are going to help one another in rising. Now, if you want to push it a little bit further, then you can go to the top 20 right here. That is the top achievement in the ranking space. So yes, that's basically now what we will be concentrating on. And this is what we are waiting for on the 31st of August. You know, we want these awards to be given to queens who deserve them, queens who have taken to themselves to say, we are going to build this tribe, we are going to build this queendom, and we are going to rise this Africa together. I think, oh yes, the last thing is from tomorrow, we are going to be having the tickets to the event available. There will be tickets that will be sold for the events, and we have 3 different categories of the tickets. The first category is the VIP ticket, and we have the second one, which is the general ticket. We will introduce the third category a little later, but these first ones, and we have just talked to very few number of queens, and it does seem that most of the queen want to go for the first one, which is the VIP ticket. Just to give you a clue, but we are going to go deeper into this, you know, next week. Just to give you a clue of what's involved in the VIP ticket. Before I get into that, the event is going to be in Galaga Estates in Midrand. On the 31st of August, we are starting at 6 p.m. So if you are going to the event, you will have to be there from 5:30 for 6 at Galaga Estate in Midrand. And now we have a few people who have confirmed that they will be coming. We have very interesting speakers, and we also do have interesting speakers in some of the ministries. And I am only going to mention the names of the ministries by next week, because we are confirming everything this week. So we have very interesting lineup of our government officials in the ministerial level who are supporting this project. And that is very exciting, because now it also makes us see that we are doing something right here. And we are not just doing it for the sake, we are doing something that's needed. The country needs this. The country needs to see the representation of women in the energy space. And that is not something that has been shown enough, even by our government. So what we are doing is also helping our government to actually reach, the mandate that is needed in terms of the representation of women. And with us, it's not just the representation of women, but we are actively involved. We are not handed out these projects. It's projects that we have created ourselves, we have cooked ourselves, and we have gone out there to get funding for ourselves. We did not wait to be handed everything, by the government. So which kind of a government wouldn't want to support any initiative like that, where these are women who have taken it completely into their hands to build an economy like that, using this very in-demand commodity or resource, which is called energy. So Queens, we are in the right path here. We are doing something right, something great, and something that will impact humanity. So we really extend an invitation to each and every one of you, and to those who are closer to you, if you can tell them that this is happening. We are moving forward. There's no stopping us. We are not going back. We are not, we are not fearful of anything, because we know that this is our time. And there is nothing that can stop a time, an opportunity whose time has come. And this time has come for this opportunity to really be achieved. And it has to come through us as women. So yes, basically this is what I have for you. And I would like to thank you one more time for lending us the ear so we can share what we have. So next week is going to be very interesting. Oh, wait, before I finish, I know that some of you might be interested, when we go to this, they might be interested that if I am showing you these levels, if I'm showing you these ranks and levels, where are we sitting when it comes to this? Where are our queens sitting? Right now, the queens who have upgraded are only 97. There's only 97 queens upgraded. And from these queens that have upgraded, we only have 67 who have upgraded with 1.5. We have 5 who have upgraded with 1,000. We have 30 who have upgraded with 500. So which means, can you see there's still a lot of work to be done here? And the 67 queens that have upgraded fully, we are going to start with them as we start with a campaign. We are going to start helping them build their teams. How are we going to help them build their teams? When we start the campaign, we will be receiving a huge influx of other queens who wants to come in. And what we will do is we will take those queens and put them in the teams of those who are already in the top 50. So please, if you can push yourself as hard as you can to upgrade fully and commit fully, then we will also fully commit to you in terms of helping you grow your network before the 16th, because by the 16th of August, you need to be able to have reached the rank that you really want to be part of, because by then the identifying of the top achievers will start in preparation for the 31st. So yes, next week, if you are fully upgraded, you must wait to see. You must check and see on your Triber referrals space. You must share your Triber links so that we have your Triber links, and then we are able to push queens into your teams. And that's how we want to motivate you and help you build your teams before the 16th of August. This is the end of my presentation tonight. And once again, I want to say thank you for being here and patiently sitting and listening to these opportunities, and also listening to all what we have brought to you. Now I'm going to hand over to my Queen Tembeni, to do the question and answers. And let's see what questions you have and what assistance you need. Over to you, Queen Tembeni. Okay, Queen Bongs, I'm not sure if Queen Tembeni has any challenge. I'm not sure if you can step in while we try and find out where she could be stuck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chief Queen Tammy, and a very, very good evening to all the queens. Thank you for this interesting and a wonderful opportunity for all the queens in Africa or in South Africa, both South Africa and Africa. Whilst we are still checking for our queen terms, I would really like to ask our queens to raise their hands if they have any questions, so that we can be able to answer their questions.
Queen Bongs, I'm back.
Oh, thank you. Thanks,
Sorry,
my
I
queen.
could not unmute.
All
I could
right,
not
okay.
unmute, so I had
All
to
right.
claim back the host. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Queens, wow, this is amazing. I would like to say thank you so much to Queen Tammy for her generosity, for inviting us to come and share on this amazing opportunity. If you look at this opportunity, you can see that it is probably 20 years, if not 25 or 15 years ahead of where we are right now. It's gonna put us as shareholders of this amazing opportunity in an amazing space that people will admire us and will wonder, how did we get to where we are or where we'll be at that time? And now is the time to join in. Now is the time to participate. Now is the time to come fully and buy into this amazing opportunity, not just with your 1.5, but being an ambassador, being the supporter, being the participant of this amazing opportunity, because we already have platforms that you can start using now, like the Roll It platform. It is there. We can participate. You can already start earning points on that platform. That is where you can also start inviting people to come and participate whilst we're waiting for the other opportunities to start and commence. So if you can please raise your hand if you have a question or need further clarification, or perhaps you want us to go back to some of the slides for further clarification. I will start with the ones that have their hands up. Mam Tembu, I will unmute you. You can ask your question. Mam Tembu, you can go ahead.
Good evening, Queens. Good evening. Wow. Every week we are being surprised in this platform, you know. Yeah, hi, Queen Tammy. I really salute you and the Queens, really. You make us look forward to the following week, you know. When it's a Friday, you think, hey, when is a Wednesday? Besides the challenges of the load shedding, but you are here now. I can't believe that it's already towards the end of July, and we've just started. It's like yesterday. Having said that, thank you very much for the presentation and you are motivating us. Let me go back, Queen. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, the third Wednesday, the Queen's evening, whereby were introduced, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm subject to be corrected, whereby there were queens that upgraded immediately when you announced that there's a need to upgrade, and you've said there were 8 queens who have already upgraded on that particular day. That was the surprise that that has been shared with us. And I just want to check the criteria now. You indicated that there are 67 queens that already upgraded with 1.5. And those are the queens that you're gonna start with. In fact, we're gonna start with as a collective to help and assist so that we can make sure that this becomes a success. I just want to check the criteria so that we don't experience problem in a long run. Maybe we don't know the criteria that is going to be used in order to assist those queens. And secondly, I just wanted to check, you indicated that queens must send their links. Remember, Queen, there are also queens that are still struggling with the tribal link because they were unable to be in the system. Are you also gonna take them into consideration when they are being assisted? Because I'm not sure if you will be able, if one is not on tribal, you'll be able to see if this queen is already upgraded, even if she's still battling with tribal. Thank you, Queen.
Queen T, do you want us to take another question, or are you going to answer this one? Where's Quinton? I'm trying to unmute Queen Tammy.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for unmuting me. Wow, I love the question that Queen Mamtembu has really asked. It's very important to understand how are the queens going to be assisted. Yes, we did have the queens who upgraded, you know, in the last day where the promotion was ended, right, on tribal. Those queens are going to be taken into consideration. I don't want them to panic. They are going to be taken into consideration. And now the second question was that, what is the criteria that is going to be used? Sorry, what is the criteria that is going to be used? I want to also explain that the criteria that's going to be used in helping or assisting those queens who need assistance in terms of growing their teams. We will help, for example, we are looking for the top 20 and the top 50, right? So what's going to happen is that we will look into your team. Let's say your team, Queen Mamtembu, you have queens that you have invited that have already registered under you. So when we help you, you probably might be having the 5 already by now, and you are helping now your queens to build their teams. So if we bring queens into your team who wants to upgrade, then we will put them in under any of your teams. For example, the 5 teams that you have, we will put the queens under any of the 5. You know, for example, let's say now if we have 5 or 10 queens, and we will decide, okay, we'll put 2. So the system is going to choose. We will see which one is working harder, and we will start with the ones who are who are working harder in terms of building and going down. Why? Because we want to these other queens, we want to, what's this word now? We want to encourage them as well, you know, to work as hard so that they can also get assistance. But we want to help everybody, you know, with the campaign that we're going to do. So all the queens that will be coming in, we are just going to assist every queen. So you have to have a team already that have registered under you for you to get assistance. I hope I'm able to answer your question. Okay, Queen Thames. I'm sure she might not be able to maybe comment. Maybe she needs to be unmuted, but I hope I've answered the question. And yeah, and I hope it's clear for the other queens as well in terms of the process and what needs to be done. Queen Thames, back over to you. I hope you are able, or should I unmute you? Let me see. Oh, okay. So I must unmute. All right. I'll just check. Okay, Queen Mamtembu, I have unmuted you.
Okay, thank you very much, Queen. Thank you. Now I understand. I just wanted to check with the other question, with the next one. Is it the system who's gonna pick up who needs to be assisted? The reason being that you indicated when you were doing the presentation that we must send queens must send the tribal links. How are we expected to send those? Must we send them via, or is the system gonna pick them up so that we don't have to send them? Because I was concerned really about those queens which were unable to go on tribal. But that one you've responded to. But I just wanted to check must we send the links, or is it the system that is gonna pick up whoever wants to be assisted?
Okay, thank you for your question. No, you can please send your links to your leaders. For example, I know you're a leader for your own team, which is the provincial team. So whoever is in your team, you know, they can send the links to you, and you can send the links to myself. But there are queens who will be responsible for that, you know, where we basically need to see which team needs to be assisted, you know, in the system. So the system is not going to automatically pick, you know, we will have to go into the system and check which teams need, you know, assistance, and we assist those. I think it keeps muting. I don't know. Queen Thames, I don't know if, am I the host? I'm trying to see if I'm the host or what. And if you need to be unmuted, if you can raise your hand, Queen Thames, I would appreciate that. Okay, I don't know. Queen Monks, can you come in? Can I see your hand? Okay, let me try and unmute you. Unmute. All right. Okay, I think I've unmuted you. Come on.
Yes, Chief Quintami, thank you so much. I was going through the chat box. There is a question there about, I just missed it now. There's a question there from Queen Pakama. Is it, yes, Queen Pakama is asking about the opportunity of a ticket here, 5,000 rands, and then you get a project. She wrote 50, actually it's 500,000. She wrote 50,000. What does it entail? That's Queen Pakama. You wanna answer that, Quinty? Or I can answer?
I think, no, you can answer that.
All right. Queen Pakama, the 5,000 ticket. What's going to be happening with that is that the Queens, it's a VIP ticket, first of all, and we don't have a goodie bag because our Chief Queen here is very passionate about something that it will add value to our Queens. And we're saying, for a change, if you have managed to buy a 5,000 rand ticket, you will be taking home a energy project worth of 500,000 instead of a goodie bag. I think that's something that is way better than a goodie bag. And we're also saying that if you feel that you are you have the 5,000 and you also would like to pay forward or adopt a community or an organization or a project in your community, then you can buy that ticket, and that 500,000 energy project, you can then pay it forward to that organization or that project. But the disadvantage, as Chief Quintami was also talking about, the disadvantages is that you only get that project of a 500,000 and you are not a shareholder in the organization. I hope we have answered you, my queen. I'm going to the chat box again. Queen Pakama, please raise your hand if maybe you need more clarification on the answer on your question. Whilst we are still looking for her to raise her hand, maybe let's take another question. The other question is from Queen Tidi. How will you know that those queens who are on Triba are all already upgraded? Quinty, could you please answer that one, tackle that one for me?
Okay.
How will you know that those queens who are on Triba are already upgraded? That's from Queen Tidi.
Okay, Queen City. You know, we do have a spreadsheet of all the queens who have upgraded. So now if you're on Triba and you are not on the list of the queens that have upgraded, then we will be able to see that. So if you send us your Triba link and you have not upgraded yet, we will be able to pick that up. So, yeah. I hope
Thank you, Chief Quintami. Okay, she's sorted. Thank you so much, Queen Pakama. There is another question on the chat box from Queen Bongeka Matebula. Good evening, Queens. Thanks, Queen Tami, for the presentation. Have the dates been extended? Initially, I thought the deadline for having met our targets was the 31st of July. I heard you talking about the 16th of August. Please confirm the changes.
All right. Basically, there are no changes because initially the last masterclass will be on the 16th of August. So now with the last masterclass goes the closing of taking in more queens that will be part of the 31st of August event. So yes, it's the 16th of August, not necessarily the 31st of July. So which means you have up until the 16th of August to really build up to the level of recognition so that you are part of the 31st of August event.
Thank you, Chief Queen Tammy, for that answer. I hope my Queen Bongiwe is answered. Queen Lee, your hand is up. Could we please unmute Queen Lee, Chief Queen Tammy?
Queen Lee?
Yes.
All right. Oh, I'm not the host anymore.
Oh, okay. Queen Lee, could you please write your question on the chat box? I think our Queen Thames, maybe she has a glitch somewhere. Could you please write your question on the chat box?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me though?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yeah, because I saw that I was
Queen Liz
unmuted.
unmuted, so she can speak.
Okay. Evening, Queens. I just like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for being here. Also, thank Queen Tammy for coming up with such a beautiful initiative. This is my third masterclass that I'm attending. I upgraded last week, if I'm not mistaken. Now, my question would be to say, you want to invite the other queens out there, the other women out there. They need to see and see what is the future holding for us as women. So my question is, what are the legalities? I know for the past week I've been working on a PowerPoint slides, based on all the master classes that I went from masterclass 1 up to 7. I checked them, so I felt, okay, let me just summarize so that when I meet the people that I want to invite, I can use this. But I just want to find out, what are the legalities of using the logos? Is it okay if one use the logos? Because there's a group that we have formed. There's so much interest in Davidson. We have a lot of, I think more than 20 queens who are interested, but they say, look, we want face-to-face. We want to understand what this is all about. Is it okay for us to create our own invites for number one? And then is it okay if we create our own presentation so that we present to other queens so they understand? And with what I had created was based on Masterclass 7. Now today there's more information, meaning I have to go and amend if I'm allowed to do that. So my question is, what are the legalities? Is it okay for us, one, to create our own invitations based on face-to-face? Can we use the logos of the companies that are all linked together? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your question, Queen Lee. It's also a very important question because we are talking now of the corporate identity. We're talking of branding, which has to be a uniform. There's got to be uniformity in our brand. And if you are creating anything, we do have a team that deals with the marketing material. And for example, if you want to have a banner, a roll-up banner for your presentations, all of that, we do have a team that deals with that. So if you have prepared anything, for your presentation, it will be good to consult and get approval before you can go out there and use, especially the presentation, the slides, because we also need to make sure that what you are saying is in line with what the company is offering. But we are working on having a unified marketing materials where we can give to people who want to go and do the presentations. So yeah, you need to consult and get approval before you can start using your slides, especially if they carry the logos of the companies, especially the companies that are our partners. We need to make sure that whenever they are presented out there, they carry exactly the same, impact, and the brand is intact, as it goes out there. So please, if you're in a group, you may contact your admin, which is the leader of the group, in terms of getting the approved marketing material for your presentation. I hope I have answered you, Quinley. And we can take the next question. Queen Monks or Queen Thames? If Queen Thames is here, I saw that the network kicked her out. Okay, I'm not sure if Queen Monks, if you can raise your hand, or Queen Thames, if you can raise your hand so I can unmute you.
Thank you, Queen Tammy. There's a hand of Queen Bongiwe. If you can unmute. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, beloved Chrissy, Queen beloved Chrissy. Yes, I was muted, and so I was still waiting to be unmuted. There is a question, another question on the chat box. And that question is from Queen Zonke. Thanks, Queen T. I would like to know what would become of the queens who are not fully paid by the 16th of August. Is there, if there would be anything, I think.
Queens who have not fully upgraded by the
16th of August.
16th of August. Well, you may not be fully upgraded, but at least you might be somewhere in terms of having put together a team. But if you have not put together any team, then which means you will fall back into being a shareholder, where you are just a shareholder in the company. And which means you're not really going to be losing any of your upgrade or the investment that you've made in the platform, but you will fall back into being just a shareholder. I think basically that's it. Until we open up the second phase of this, because after the awards event, we are going to open up a second phase into moving forward, with this. But it will depend what kind of a phase that will be, because after the event, we will be mostly busy getting the contracts done for the queens that have qualified, and also getting the projects, getting them ready, for implementation. So we will be doing that. And there will be more announcements that we'll be doing, because there's something very interesting that's also coming in October, and we will announce that in the next coming weeks. But it's something that will open up more opportunities for queens, not only queens here in South Africa, but queens in the African continent. And because then from October, we're actually going global. And yeah, we will announce that. So there will be more opportunities coming up, but now you don't want to miss this one because the coming opportunity might not be the same, like the one that we have now. So yeah, hope I've answered you.
Thank you, Chief Queen Tammy, for that. And there is, okay, Queen Mamtembo is asking if we can have the same official presentation as a summary. I think we need to prepare those slides.
Yes. Yeah, that's very much possible. Actually, that's what the team is working on, to have a consolidated presentation that summarizes all these master classes, simplifying them so that people can understand and they are able to relay this to the next person. Because I think one of the reasons why queens cannot invite other queens is because they are struggling to explain these opportunities to people, and they are struggling to explain what's the benefits that the queens will be having. So yes, they will be simplified, they will be consolidated, and they will be made in a way that is very easy for the next person to present to their groups of people.
Thank you, Chief Queen Tammy. Queen Bongiwe, your hand is still up.
Thank you. Yes, I haven't had an opportunity to ask. Thank you very much for allowing me. First of all, a huge thank you for the opportunity given. The second thing, I just needed to clarify with regards to Triba. I saw that when we were working this afternoon with Queen Chrissy, we could not identify, I think, one of the people that actually had signed under my name in Triba. Is it because of the current upgrade in the system? Should we wait or should we escalate that?
Okay, I want to understand that, Queen Mongiwe. Thank you for your question. You're saying there's someone who has signed up under you and you don't recognize that person?
Definitely. And they did, the initial amount that they paid was 500, but we could not see them under my Triba. The new one that upgraded today was appearing, but not the old ones. So is it because of the glitch in the system, or should we wait, or should that be escalated?
I think that should be escalated, but let's only escalate it by the end of this week, because the developers are still working on getting back. They're actually, when I communicated with them, they were 90% in restoring the data back into Triba since the migration. So now let's wait for them to restore the 10% back. And let's give them maybe up to tomorrow or Friday. And then if nothing really happens, then that's when we can take action.
Okay, perfect. And then I think then the follow-up question on that, because she's actually here with me and she wants to do the final upgrade because she was initially upgraded with 500 and she wants to add on the 1,000. Should she wait or should she go ahead and get onto the link?
No, she can upgrade because both the two platforms aren't really the same. The one where the queens upgrade, which is the Bioscope, that one is fine. That one is fine. They can upgrade. But now the Triba one, if they can wait until Friday, until we have everything together, and then you can. And that's when queens can maybe start sharing their links with their leaders. But yeah, if we can wait on doing anything on Triba until Friday, I would really appreciate it. And I do apologize in advance for that inconvenience. Yeah, because we were actually trying to move the Triba platform to more safer server, where it will be permanently hosted. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Thank you, Queen Bongiwe. Queen Refilwe, could you please unmute Queen Refilwe?
Okay, Queen Refilwe, unmuted.
Good evening, ladies. I've got a question. I just want to find out, are we allowed to invite the ladies from social media such as Facebook? Because I've got a strong following on Facebook. And when I check the time frame between now and the 16th, I'm a bit hesitant that I'll be able to have the 5 queens to join me. So I was thinking if I use social media, because there are a lot of people that are following me, maybe I can be able to get 5 people from that. So that's why I'm asking.
Yes, certainly. You are most welcome to invite people from your following, from your social spaces, because as we are going to embark on the campaign ourselves, we are going to use part of the social media spaces, to get the queen. So anybody who has a social presence and they would like to make use of it, you can invite, people from those social spaces.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Queen Refilwe. We have Queen Portia. Queen Portia, could you please unmute her?
Where is Queen Portia? Is the hand up?
Yes, Queen Portia's hand is up.
Oh, yeah.
Portia
there.
Peter.
Okay, yeah. Unmuted.
Thank you. Queen Portia, the floor is yours.
Queens, good evening all to all the beautiful queens. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you, Queen Tammy, for everything, for considering us, the other queens. It's rare that you'll find somebody with such a brilliant idea to reach out to others. That we are very thankful for. Queen Refile has just almost like said what I wanted to say, because I was going to ask, since now we are on a countdown, because we are on a countdown until the 16th and we are racing towards the 31st. But now, is it possible, or in our marketing strategy, if maybe we could also consider going live on radio? Even the ones who are able to go to their local radios, so that at least, remember, we have other people who don't have access to the data, but they have the radios.
Okay, thank you so much for that as well. That's very interesting. Yes, you may. I mean, use every avenue that you can use, that you can find, that will get you people. That will get you people who are interested, who want to be part of this. Remember, as you're saying, the people are scattered through all these kinds of media, whether it's social media or the radio, so let's make use of every single platform where we can get people. Especially during the time that we have left, we have practically 3 weeks, to really make it. So yes, please, my queen, use every avenue that you can find to get people.
Okay, thank you, Queen.
Thank you, Queen Portia, for your question. Queen Lee, your hand is up. Maybe there's a follow-up question from Queen Lee, or she forgot to lower her hand.
No, it is a follow-up question, my queen.
Okay, all right, my queen.
All right. When you invite, one of the questions that I usually get is to say, we hear you, you're talking about solar farms, you're talking about tribal investment, and so if I take out 1.5 and invest, what will I get to prove that I will be a shareholder or an investor in all these things that you have mentioned? So some kind of maybe investment certificate or something like that. Maybe it was spoken about before, but I just wanted to that clarity on how do we explain to the potential queens that this is what's going to happen after this and after this and after this. Thank you.
Wow, I love the kind of quality of questions that I am getting from the queens tonight. Obviously, when you invest in a company, you need to have a share certificate, something that is really an evidence that you have invested in the company. And it's exactly the same here. Everybody that has invested will be getting their share certificates by the 31st of August in that event or from that event. So from the 31st of August, you will be having your share certificate in your hand that enables you to actually say, I am officially a shareholder in the company. The accountant, our accountant is working on that.
Thank you, Chief Queen Tammy. And I am back on the chat box. Queen Lutando is saying, I had my fingers crossed on the social media question because I've already been on TikTok and Facebook, and I'm glad it's a big yes. Yes, my queen, you can go to all the social media platforms and invite other queens. Then we have River Club. I'm not sure who's queen. Who's,
Queen
yeah. Oh, it's Queen Thames, yes. Can someone start investing?
It's Tembeni.
Okay, my queen. Sorry, yes. Can someone start investing on Triba after they are fully upgraded? That's question number one. Question number two, are the vouchers still in place and when will they be made available to the queens? There are two questions from our Queen Thames.
Okay, thank you for the question.
Bongs is my... Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the question. And I think that's going to be our last question that we're taking. We only have 1 minute before the end of the session. Yes. So the question was, Queen B, can you remind me?
Oh, yes. The first question is, let me go quickly to the chat box, my chief queen. Can someone start investing on Triba even after they are fully upgraded? They upgrade with the 1.5. Can they also add more money? I think that's the question.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yes, you can, but we would advise you not to now. Because we are working on this FSP license. So right now we are just accepting those who have vouchers to invest in the Triba platform. And until our FSP is approved, then you can go and invest more of your money in it, because we don't want to be seen on the contrary to the compliance and regulations, but right now, because we are giving you a gift, which is that investment voucher. So that is what we would like to be dealing with right now. So if you have upgraded, well and good, and you want to invest more on Triba, just wait a little, and we will inform queens when to invest their own monies into the platform. But right now, if you can just maybe stick to the investment vouchers, because everybody that upgrades gets the investment vouchers. Now, the next question was that when will people with investment vouchers will be able to use them in the Triba platform? You can use them. Some queens have already claimed their vouchers, from the system, so you can do that. It's just that we were having this glitch, and maybe that's why some queens were not able to redeem their vouchers and invest with them, but it should allow them to do that now from tomorrow moving forward, tomorrow and Friday. So that's why I was actually asking the queens not to panic. If you've been experiencing troubles with the Triba platform, don't panic. The developers are working on that. And so right now, don't put your personal money or personal funds in investing in Triba as yet, until we say you can, because we want to be fully compliant with the regulation for you to be able to do that.
Thank you, Chief Queen T. That was our very, very last question from the chat box. And thank you for your wisdom again, for giving us all of this information. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Thank you so much for empowering us. And then we will hand over to our Queen Sibu, to wrap up. Queen Sibu, please raise your hand. Thank you. Could you please unmute Queen Sibu? Queen Thames?
Good evening, Queens, and once again, thank you for the beautiful evening. Thank you for this lovely session, Queen Tammy. It's been a lovely session. I enjoyed the unpacking of all the questions, all the details that people have been asking. It's so much rich information. It's fulfilling just to know that we are part of a life-changing opportunity, that we are part of creating opportunities in our country, because it doesn't end with us. It might be starting with us, but it doesn't end with us. That's one thing that has been in my spirit throughout this week, that we are the platform, we are just building the foundation for greater nations to benefit, for future generations to benefit, and for our children to inherit. So for me, this is still very exciting, with all the changes and the flexibility of the updates, and how we've been able to accept all the changes that come with the good spirit, with enthusiasm, with passion. Every time there's an announcement, we all grab it with both hands, because we know what we want. And as much as we're all different, for each and every one, just like our fingers in our hands, the 5 fingers, they're all not the same size, but there's a piece for each of one of us to grab something and to make sure that you run with whatever opportunity you get from this. With that being said, thank you again so much, Queen Tammy and the team. Thank you so much for all this. I believe that God is with us, and it's amazing. It's so beautiful to witness and to be part of this great initiative. With that being said, have a blessed evening, Queens. Looking forward to seeing you again next week. And I'm so excited about the campaigns. I'm already thinking about strategies, and I know we're going to do this. We shall meet in Johannesburg.